My name is Anna. I live with my husband, Leo, our two children, Emma and Max, and our dog, Lucky. For many years, we lived in a big city. The city was always busy and noisy. Every morning, cars and buses filled the streets. People walked fast, always in a hurry. At first, we liked the city. There were many shops, schools, and restaurants. But after some time, life started to feel heavy. The air was not clean. We often saw smoke in the sky. The food in the supermarkets was expensive and didn't taste fresh. Leo worked long hours in his office. He came home tired every day. I also worked part-time, but I often felt stressed. Emma and Max spent most of their time inside, watching TV or playing on the tablet. They didn't have space to run or play with nature. One evening, we sat together after dinner. The children were doing their homework, and Lucky was sleeping under the table. I looked at Leo and said, "Do you ever miss the countryside?" Leo smiled softly. "Yes," he said. "I miss clean air, green hills, and quiet nights." I nodded. I want our children to grow up close to nature. I want them to see cows, trees, and flowers, not only buildings and cars. That night, we talked for a long time. We decided to change our life. We sold our small apartment in the city. We looked for a house in the countryside, a small village in Switzerland, surrounded by mountains and green fields. When the day came, we packed our clothes, books, and some favorite things. We said goodbye to our neighbors and friends. It was not easy to leave, but we felt something new waiting for us. As the train left the city, Emma looked out of the window and said, "Goodbye, city. Hello, new home." Leo took my hand, and we all smiled. We didn't know what our new life would be like, but our hearts were full of hope. Our train moved slowly through the mountains. Outside the window, we saw green hills and small farms. White cows walked on the grass, and little houses with red roofs stood quietly near the trees. Emma and Max became very excited when they saw the view outside. They pressed their faces to the glass, their eyes wide open. "Look, Mommy, sheep!" Max shouted. Emma pointed and said, "And there's a lake. It's so big." Leo smiled and put his arm around me. "It's beautiful, isn't it?" he said. I nodded, unable to speak. Outside the window, the air looked so clean, so different from the gray city air. As the train went higher, the wind outside became cool and fresh. When we opened the small window, we could smell grass, pine trees, and wildflowers. The train passed through tunnels and over bridges. We saw rivers running fast below us and small villages resting between the hills. After some hours, we arrived at a small station. The sign said Grunzi Village. Only a few people got off the train. A man with a hat waved at us and smiled. An old woman carried a basket of apples and said, "Hello," as she passed. People here looked friendly. We took a narrow road that curved up the hill toward our new home. The air felt light and sweet. On both sides of the road, yellow flowers moved in the wind, and we could hear the sound of water from a small stream nearby. Lucky, our dog, ran in circles, and wagged his tail all the way. When we reached the house, I stopped and took a deep breath. It was a small wooden house with a red roof, just like in a storybook. There were bright flowers in front of the door, red, yellow, and pink, and a little white fence around the garden. A big tree stood near the gate, and its branches danced gently in the wind. Inside, the house was small but warm. There were big windows, wooden chairs, and a stone fireplace. The floor smelled faintly of pine wood. From the window, I could see a green hill, a silver river, and far away, a big blue lake shining under the sun. Emma and Max ran around the garden laughing. Lucky barked happily and chased butterflies. Leo stood beside me, looking at the sky. "This is home now," he said softly. That night, we unpacked a few boxes, lit the fireplace, and sat together on the floor. The wood crackled, and the house smelled of warmth and smoke. Outside, we could hear the wind and the sound of cowbells far away. I held Leo's hand and whispered, "It feels right to be here." He smiled. "Yes," he said, "it feels like home." For the first time in a long time, I felt peaceful. The city was behind us, and a new life had begun. Grunzi is a very beautiful village. On the green hills around the village, I saw many animals. Big brown cows walked slowly, with bells hanging around their necks. The bells made soft, gentle sounds as they moved and ate grass. White and black goats jumped on small rocks and ate fresh green leaves. Farther up the hill, a group of horses stood together. They were tall and strong, with brown and white coats shining under the sun. Their manes moved in the wind as they looked up at the wide sky. Above the hills, white clouds drifted slowly. Some were so low that they touched the tops of the hills and even brushed the snowy mountains. The mountains stood high and silent, their peaks still white even in summer. The village had many small houses. Most were made of dark wood or gray stone, with red or brown roofs. In front of the houses, people planted many flowers: red roses, yellow sunflowers, purple lavender, and pink tulips. They grew in pots, wooden boxes, and small gardens. Bees flew from flower to flower, and butterflies danced gently in the air. Through the village ran small streams with clear water. The water flowed over smooth stones, making a soft, cheerful sound. I could see little fish swimming near the bottom. Wooden bridges crossed the streams, simple but beautiful. When I stood on one, I could hear the water running quietly beneath my feet. In the center of the village was a large blue lake. Its surface was like a mirror, reflecting the sky and the white mountains. A few sailboats rested near the wooden docks, their white sails moving slowly in the wind. Near the shore, ducks swam in small groups, making soft sounds and tiny waves on the water. People walked near the lake, some with dogs, others sitting on benches, watching the boats and ducks. Children laughed as they threw pieces of bread into the water. The ducks came quickly to eat them, their feathers shining in the sunlight. At the edge of the village lay a small forest. The trees were tall and green, their leaves moving gently in the wind. Sunlight passed through the branches and danced on the ground. Inside the forest, I heard the sound of a stream again. It flowed quietly between the trees, and beside it, two horses were drinking water. Their noses touched the water softly, and their tails moved slowly back and forth. I walked deeper into the forest. The ground was soft with fallen leaves, and the air smelled of trees and earth. I saw mushrooms growing near the roots, green moss covering the stones, and tiny white flowers hiding under the ferns. That village in Switzerland was the most peaceful place I had ever seen. The hills, the animals, the houses, the lake, and the forest, all together, made a picture I will never forget. Every day in the village feels calm and full of life. When the sun rises, the sky turns pink and gold. The birds start singing, and the cowbells ring softly in the distance. Leo wakes up early. He goes outside to feed the animals. We have some chickens now, and a few goats on the hill. He also takes care of the fence and cleans the small barn. Sometimes, he helps our neighbor move hay or fix a wooden gate. I stay in the kitchen and prepare breakfast. Warm bread, fresh milk, and apples from our garden. The smell of coffee fills the room, and soon everyone comes to the table. After breakfast, I take care of the apple trees behind our house. I water the plants and pick vegetables from the garden. Lucky, our dog, follows me everywhere. He likes to sleep under the apple tree when the sun is warm. Emma and Max go to the village school. It's a small school with only a few classrooms, but the teachers are kind. The children walk together through the flower path every morning. Sometimes I see them stop to look at butterflies. In the afternoon, when the children come home, they help with small chores. Emma likes to help me bake bread. Max loves to feed the chickens and bring in the eggs. Leo works outside, fixing something new for the farm, maybe a small shed or a new fence. When the sun goes down, we all have dinner together. We talk about our day and laugh a lot. After dinner, we sometimes go for a walk near the lake. The air is cool, and we can see the stars starting to appear. At night, when everything is quiet, I sit by the window. I can see the lights from the other houses in the village, small and warm. I think about our old life in the city, the noise, the traffic, the hurry. Then I look at my family, smiling and happy, and I know we made the right choice. Life in the countryside is beautiful, but not always easy. In the first weeks, everything felt new and exciting. But soon, we started to see the small problems too. Leo was not used to farm work. Sometimes, the goats ran away, or the fence broke after a storm. One morning, one of the cows got sick, and he didn't know what to do. He looked worried and tired, but our neighbor, Mr. Weber, came to help. He showed Leo how to care for the animals. For me, the garden was a big challenge. Some plants grew well, but others did not. The weather changed quickly. Sunny in the morning, rain in the afternoon, and cold wind at night. Once, all my young tomato plants died after a heavy rain. I felt sad that day, but I learned to try again. The children also needed time to get used to their new life. Emma missed her friends from the city. She said, "It's too quiet here." Max missed the big toy shop and his favorite park. Sometimes they felt lonely because there were not many children in the village. And of course, life here is slower. There are no big supermarkets, no buses every hour, and sometimes the internet is very weak. In the city, everything was fast and easy. Here, we must wait and plan carefully. But slowly, we learned. Leo learned to fix things by hand. I learned to grow food with love and patience. The children found new friends at school. And when we looked around, the hills, the sky, the clean air, we knew that even with all the hard work, it was worth it. Even with the hard days, we had many happy moments too. One sunny Sunday, our neighbors invited us for a picnic by the lake. We brought sandwiches, apples, and cheese. The children ran on the grass and threw small stones into the water. The lake shone like glass, and the mountains looked close and tall. Mr. Weber played guitar, and everyone sang an old Swiss song. We laughed a lot that day. When the sun went down, the sky turned orange, and I thought, this is the peace I was looking for. A few weeks later, we went to the village market. It was full of colors and smells. Fresh bread, cheese, honey, and flowers. People talked and smiled everywhere. Emma and Max tried sweet apple juice and helped me carry vegetables. Leo bought some tools for the farm. I liked how everyone knew each other. It felt like one big family. One morning in spring, Emma said she wanted to plant a tree. We found a small apple tree and dug a hole together in the garden. She put her hands in the soft earth and smiled proudly. I will watch it grow, she said. Now, every day, she goes outside to water her tree. Life here is simple, but full of meaning. These small moments, a picnic, a market, a little tree, became big memories for us. It has been 1 year since we moved to the countryside. When I look back, I can't believe how much our life has changed. In the city, our days were always fast. We worked, we hurried, we worried. We wanted more things, but we had less time. Here, everything is slower, and that is the beauty of it. Now, I wake up to the sound of birds, not cars. I smell grass and flowers, not smoke. When I walk with Leo and the children, I feel calm. We talk, we laugh, and we listen to the wind in the trees. The children have changed too. They don't spend hours with the tablet anymore. They play outside, help with the garden, and learn about animals. They know how apples grow, how to care for a goat, and how to be patient. Sometimes, I still miss the city, the bright lights, the restaurants, the friends. But when I see the sunset behind the hills, or hear Emma's laughter in the garden, I know we made the right choice. Living here has taught us something simple but important. Happiness does not come from noise or money. It comes from peace, from nature, and from being close to the people you love. Every evening, when the stars appear in the clear sky, I thank life for bringing us here, to this quiet, beautiful village where we learned how to live slowly and truly live. Thank you for watching.